Hey guys, Jay Massey here and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk a little bit about revenue management. When you're running your short-term rental business, revenue is obviously really important because oftentimes we get a really good handle on what our expenses are, assuming you have a decent bookkeeper and bookkeeping practices going on. We can really know what expenses are. The question becomes is how do we manage our revenue and what are some of the techniques around doing so? In a recent Q&A, one of our students had that exact same question, so we started sharing with him a technique around minimum stays to help him manage his revenue better.
I saw this from Nevin today. It says, how do I put a minimum weekend stay for 2 nights and a weekday at 1 night? Now, hopefully if you're running the full system, this is actually something you should do, or your pricing software is actually managing for you. So you have the ability to kind of manage that in a group situation. So whether you're using Wheelhouse or Price Labs, it won't matter one way or the other, but it's definitely something that's where I like to control it, because typically those settings get overridden by whatever is in your pricing tool. So if your pricing tool, if you're using Wheelhouse or Price Labs, if they're the ones actually controlling that, so you need to set those settings there as opposed to doing it on the actual platform. I mean, obviously you can do it on the platform, but I'm assuming you're using a pricing tool, and if you are using the pricing tool will overwrite those settings that you made on the platform. So just keep that in mind. Not that what Haya said here is incorrect. It's not. It's just the pricing tool can override that. So just know that. And I wanted to make sure everybody knew that, because minimum days are going to be important coming up here, guys. As if you haven't, let me see. Let's log in. So the minimum days, and in fact, while we're talking about it, I might as well show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. So minimum days, say on long-term dynamic minimum stays. Got it. So right here, if you're using Wheelhouse, this is where it is. So I've got my global minimum stay, and I've got my day of week minimum stays, and as you can see, by default it's 11122 for Friday and Saturday. Well, what's going to happen here and shortly, and what many of you should be doing, is the dates that I was thinking of is right now 2019. We have Mother's Day is coming up. Memorial Day, is that the one in May? Hold on. United States holidays 2019. But the main one I was thinking about is 4th of July. So coming up, I just want to see the dates. Okay, so we've got, Memorial Day, May 27th, and you've got Independence Day. And then depending on how far your calendar is open, you've got Labor Day and Columbus Day to deal with as well. So here's what I was referring to is that, what was that? May 27th, Monday, May 27th. Again, go back up, that's 2018. Nope, July. May, there we go. So May 27th. So for example, you may not, and again, this depending on your cleaning crew, you may not want an actual departure on the 27th. That could be one thing. So you need to think about this with your holidays. Is your staff going to be available to actually do cleanings in turn? So do you want, I mean, maybe a departure is okay, but maybe you don't want any arrivals, or vice versa. So if say for example, if you know that your staff is not going to be working on that holiday, You may not want any arrivals, but a departure is fine because you'll just let it sit there and clean it the next day. My point, though, is there's also a situation in which this Monday, right here, May 27th and May 28th, between May 27th and May 28th, you may actually want, you know what? That'd be more like May 26th to May 28th. You may want a minimum of a 2-night stay, so someone doesn't try to come and stay at your place on a holiday for just one day. I promise you, for the most part, depending on the property you have, you typically don't want this. And in this particular case, that's how I would do this if I was using, well, if I am clearly using Wheelhouse.
So if you like information like this, by all means, hit that subscribe button and definitely hit that like button, because it helps YouTube know that, hey, you like it, and we'll probably find other entrepreneurs just like yourself so that we can help them become bigger, better, badder investors just like you.